Hey guys, Jared here with a Gamification video. Now, I think we've all had enough time to play the first wave of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe DLC tracks, and I thought, heck, why not rank them? Why not go through all of them and see which ones I prefer? Now, I want to preface this by saying that I actually really enjoy all of the tracks. Even though some of them are going to end up in D tier, that doesn't by any means mean I think they're a rubbish track at all. I really do actually enjoy all of them. With that said, Toad Circuit, D tier. Now, okay, I know this isn't D tier, but I am actually going to defend it. A lot of people are saying that this track is just boring and rubbish and all this yada yada yada, but honestly, you need tracks like this. If you've got too many crazy tracks on your hand, then it's just too much. You need something to kind of just level it out a little bit more, just to bring you back down to earth and just go on a normal track. Now, with that said, we've seen like circuit tracks do them a lot better, like Luigi Circuit and Mario Circuit and Peach Circuit, because all those tracks have some sort of gimmick or some interesting quality to them or interesting section of the track. Toad Circuit kind of falls flat in that department because there's not really anything interesting. Like, you fly over the bridge and that's it. That's kind of the peak of this track. So, and yeah, in comparison to the rest of the tracks in this DLC pack, then yeah, it stands out as being the boring one for sure. But I don't think it's absolutely dreadful, and I do think it's necessary to be in this pack. Now, this one's probably going to be my most controversial, and that is Ninja Hideaway. I'm putting it in C tier. I think there's too much going on. I think when you first initially play this map, oh my goodness, there's so much happening. There's so many different avenues you can go down. How exciting and exhilarating. But I've played it a few times now and already it's kind of getting a bit old. There's too many avenues to go down on this track. I find the bends and turns are a little bit too sharp and unforgiving. And I find myself alone a lot whilst playing this. God, I didn't think this turned into a therapy session. But you know what I mean. Since there's so many avenues in this track, I don't really have that competitive edge when I'm bumping into other players, you know, there's just, I don't know, I think there's a bit too much. Like, people say less is more, but for this, I don't know, I think they really went more is more and then just had a little bit too much. So moving on to Coconut Mall, and honest to God, I want to put this in A tier, I really do. I was so hyped for this, but it's gotta be a B tier. And purely for the reason of, what have they done with those cars at the end? Why would they make it less fun? Why were they in the boardroom and were like, I know what would be a good idea, let's make this less interesting and less chaotic and less fun. Let's just get the cars that were moving, creating a bit of chaos at the end and a bit of fun and excitement. And let's just stop them. Let's just put them in the middle of the road and just have them there. Like, that's a dreadful creative decision. Why would they do that? I do not understand. And I know some of you may think, oh, well, it's such a small part. No, it's not. Like, that last bit in a track is so important to be fun and exhilarating, and it's just not. It's so dead. It's just, why are the cars in the middle of the road? It's just, oh my goodness, I don't understand. Like, I know oil prices have gone up, but goodness me, I didn't think it affected the Mario universe as well. Now, staying on the subject of cars, I'm going to move on to Shroom Bridge, and this one is okay, I suppose. But once again, why have they, like, nerfed the cars? What's Nintendo's problem with cars? Like, before, on the 3DS version, they had cars going in both directions, making this actually very challenging of a track to play. But now they've just got the cars all going in the same direction, and it just takes that excitement out of it. Once again, I don't know why Nintendo, are they trying to just drain all the excitement out of these courses? I don't get it. I'm putting it in C tier because it's just a bit, it's interesting for the element of the cars, but I feel as if any challenge has just been completely zapped out of it. Paris Promenade. Now, for some reason, I had some sort of a disdain for the idea of having Mario Kart Tour tracks in the game. I just don't know why, I just never really sort of clicked with Mario Kart Tour. I just thought it was a bit stupid, if I'm going to be honest with you. But this track really, really surprised me. It's very well made, very interesting, and it's got a very unique idea of coming back on yourself and sort of racing against other drivers. You know how sometimes when you're playing Mario Kart you mess about and you will just turn around and go in reverse and sort of stuff. So it has weird like nostalgia ticks for me. I don't know why. Blech. But this is a great track, honestly. It's really, really fun, really interesting, and I think the gimmick of it turning back on itself is very cool, and I'm actually going to put it in A tier. I really enjoy this one. However, when we shift over to Tokyo Blur, I kind of just feel like it's a worse version of Paris Promenade. It's like another sort of city map, but just done less well and just a lot more boring. I don't know. It kind of doesn't really make too much sense, and I think it's a really messy track, if I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm shoving it in D tier. I don't absolutely dislike it or anything. I just don't get it. It just feels very messy to me. Like thwomps just appear out of nowhere, and then suddenly you're changing direction to going through barricades, and I just think there's no flow to this. I feel as if you got to tell some sort of a story through these tracks, and I feel as if they're just like, oh, chuck this here, put thwomps there, let's just have you go this way through the barricades, and yeah, cool, done. It doesn't make any sense. Do you know what? I'm seeing a lot of dislike towards Sky Garden, but I think it's a perfectly fine track. Yeah, it's nothing too exhilarating or exciting or anything like that, but you know, it's pleasant, it's fun to play, it's a bit interesting. It kind of is similar to like a Toad Circuit in a way, how with the simplicity of it, but the aesthetics of it make it so much more engaging to play, and the fact you can bounce off the mushrooms and bounce off the leaves and everything like that. I think it's a great track, and it's just very wholesome, if that makes sense. So even though it's not absolutely making me jump out of my boots or anything, I'm gonna put it in B tier. I think it's a great track. And the final track for today is Choco Mountain. It's a little bit boring on the aesthetic side. It's just brown and grey, kind of, lighter brown on the track, I get it what it's meant to be. I totally understand that's why it's meant to be like that, but I don't know, it's nothing too exciting, and I don't know, it just didn't really do much for me. I'm very impartial to this one, if I'm going to be honest. I don't absolutely love it, and I don't absolutely hate it. If I had like a fifth tier in the middle of here, between B tier and C tier, I would totally chuck it in that. I am so impartial to this. But since I don't have that, I'm probably going to teeter it onto the C tier. I can't, there's not much to say. I guess the boulders are a fun addition, but other than that, I don't know. But what do you guys think of my list? Do you agree with where I put some of these tracks, or do you perhaps disagree with where I put some of these tracks? Be sure to let me know in the comment section below, and be sure to subscribe for all things Nintendo.